Hi everyone, welcome back to the Catholic Family Podcast. My name is Holly and I am back for another video. I wanted to share a very special video with you all today. As you know, May is just around the corner and that is the month of our Blessed Mother, and everyone loves to do May crowning. So we crown Mary and we make beautiful floral crowns to show honor and devotion to our Blessed Mother. So this is something that's done at church on Sunday, but also you can do it within your own home. So today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple, very easy floral crown that you can make in your own homes to crown your own statues of Mary. So if you have a statue out in the garden or if you have a statue inside and you want to have your own crowning processional, you can make your own floral crown. It's actually very easy. All you need is a bouquet of flowers, some wire, and some floral tape to get you started. And we're going to make one right now, and I'm going to show you just how easy it can be. So let's get started with making our floral crown. Okay, so we're going to get right into making the floral crown, and like I mentioned, you don't need a lot of stuff. So what we have here is we just have some floral wire. Now you can get floral wire in different gauge, different thickness. You do want a wire that is relatively thin.
Yes.
My mother's here in the background. My mother was a florist, so she is the expert floral crown maker. So she's going to be here for guidance, as mothers are. Anyway, so, yeah, different thicknesses. You don't want the wire too thick. You can see here, this is probably, what gauge would you say this is?
It's, I don't know. It's very thin.
It's very thin. You can see, like
and
you can see here.
it's probably too thin.
It's probably too thin.
If I was buying the wire, I wouldn't buy that.
But then it goes up in gauge, and then you can, well, actually, here, I'll show you next to this one. See how thick this one is? This one will be very hard to work with, okay? Because it's so thick.
It's not undoable.
It's not doable, so don't panic. Don't fret over your wire. Like, don't make it that big of a deal. But I'm just saying, you know. You don't want that big...
for the right job,
right
or
tool
else
for
you make it harder than it needs to be.
Right.
Or whatever.
And then you need floral tape, so we just have some green floral tape here, a pair of scissors, and then you need your wire cutters, because you never, ever, ever cut your wire with your good scissors. You will ruin your scissors. And then, of course, you need a nice bouquet of flowers. So I just picked this bouquet. It was just a small mixed spring bouquet. It was $8.99 at the grocery store. I do have another bouquet on standby in case there's not enough flowers in this one, but we'll see. We're going to see as we go along here. Okay, so to begin our project, the first thing we want to do is...
We want to cut our flowers.
We want to cut our flowers. Okay, so we're going to take our flowers out here. And my mom is going to guide me here as the florist. She's going to guide me. Mm-hmm. How much of the flower do we need?
Okay, you have to cut beneath the bud.
Beneath the bud, okay. So we'll start with these yellows first, I guess.
They're pretty easy.
They're pretty easy, so my mom will show you.
See, so there's the bud. So you're going to give yourself just a tiny bit of a stem.
Tiny bit of a stem, like there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to cut too much.
You don't want to cut too much, just so you guys can see there.
The little mini carn, you can see if you cut into this part here.
Oh, your whole flower's going to fall apart.
Your flower's going to fall apart.
So on a carnation, we want to cut down here.
Well, not that low. But...
Oh, not that low, she says.
Yeah, go ahead. Well,
okay.
You'll find out.
So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to keep cutting away here. And if my mom screams, it's because I cut too low or too high.
No, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. You guys, I'm just being silly. All right, so we've cut off all the heads of our flowers here. So this is all the flowers that we have in the bouquet. We just cut them all off. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start preparing these flowers to make the crowns. But before we start wrapping the flowers, I do want to mention something about the floral tape. So if you've never worked with floral tape before, it's not actually tape per se. It's not sticky. So you may open it and you may go, what am I supposed to do with this? It doesn't stick. But in order to get it to stick, what you do is find the end, and when you take, I'm going to cut off a piece here just to show you. When you take the floral tape and you stretch it out, that's when it gets its stickiness. So you have to really pull it. So for example, when you're wrapping it around, and you're going to see me do this in just a minute, you're going to be pulling the floral tape as you wrap.
Yeah, it sticks to itself.
The tape sticks to itself. So it will not actually stick to this wire, to this flower. It attaches itself to itself. So once you have all your flowers cut off, you're going to go ahead and we're going to make some wire stems for each individual flower. So this is where our wire comes in. So we're going to get a piece of our skinny wire. And all we're going to do is we are going to take the wire and we are going to poke it through the bud of the flower, out the other side. So it's on like a line there. And then we're going to bring it down like this. And then we have a stem. So basically what we've done is we've replaced the floral stem with an artificial one. So this wire, because this wire we can move to make our crown. But in order to make it stay, we're going to use our floral tape. So we just peel off a nice big strip of tape. And then this is where it comes in, where I said you have to stretch it to make it sticky. Okay? So you're going to start at the very top of your flower. And you're going to fold it around on top of itself. But do you see there how I'm pulling the floral tape? I'm stretching it out, and then I'm wrapping it around the bud of the flower and down. So now we're just going to keep wrapping, and I'm pulling as I wrap to make it nice and sticky, and we're wrapping it around the wire. So I'm just kind of twisting it in my hands, wrapping it around. All right, so we're going to go until we have a stem that's about that length. So I would say, what, about 4 inches? 5 inches?
Yeah, 4 inches. So not too long.
Doesn't have to be too long, but you want it long enough that you have something to work with. Then we're going to take our wire cutters and we're just going to cut the wire. And there we go. There's one flower. Now, different flowers are a little bit different to work with. So in the spring mixed bouquet, you don't just have one type of flower. You do have all these different types. So some are easier to work with than others, but this chrysanthemum? Is that a chrysanthemum?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, see, I know my flowers.
In the industry, we call it a palm.
In the industry, it's called a palm. You may know it as a chrysanthemum.
A button palm.
A button palm. So, but actually, this one's actually quite easy to work with. That's very rigid in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I find the carnations are the best.
The carnation, my mom likes the carnations the best. I have to say, I disagree with you. I like these the best.
The carnations
I'm going to cut my wire first.
Nice big long bud to work with.
Nice big long bud.
The roses, unless you get, we don't have any roses.
We didn't have any roses in our bouquet.
If you get real roses, unless you're making a ginormous crown.
Yeah,
like a really
they're
big
usually
one.
too big.
They're too big and they're too heavy. So they're hard, to keep on a wire unless it's a big crown.
Yeah. But then you can see here, as the more you do, then you go really fast, right?
Yeah.
So you just
get into a groove.
And away you go. Wrap your flowers. Now I'm not going to make everybody watch me do all that whole bouquet. My mom and I have done some off camera, but I did want to show you one little neat trick that my mom taught me. So if you have these, why am I drawing a blank? Carnations, because I was talking about chrysanthemums, and you want to open them a little bit more, carnations are actually really easy to open. So you can actually just take your fingers, am I doing it right?
Yeah.
And you just very gently fluff them open.
Yeah.
Like something like a peony, and see, look at that. See how nice that is? How I've opened that up really nice before it was kind of closed. And actually I have another one here. This one's really tight. Can we do it to this one or no?
Well, we can try.
We can try.
If it's too tight.
If it's too tight, you may just, look, I can't even get in there.
But push the bud.
Push the bud. Oh, right, that was the step I forgot. Push the bud.
Yeah.
And see if that works. No, I don't know. Oh, no, here it comes. It's coming.
So when in the floral industry, when the carnations come in, a lot of times they're closed. And you have to open them up.
There, we opened that one right up. Okay, back to our crown making here. All right, so once we have all the flowers done, I'm going to bring them in here. And we have tons from our bouquet. We have all these different types of flowers now, okay? And they're all wrapped. They all have their stems. So here I have all my flowers. Okay, what we're going to do though is it's not typical what you think. You're just gonna weave them into a nice little circle. We're actually going to make a line of flowers. So you wanna start with one flower, and I'm gonna pick this nice purple daisy. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add another flower to that. Okay, so you take a little piece of tape, you rip that off, and then we're gonna start making a line of flowers. So not a crown, we're making a line. Or not a circle, we're making a line. So we're just gonna keep attaching flower to flower.
So stop.
Yeah. But you wanna make sure you get different types of flowers. You don't want all the same, right? Like you want a nice healthy mix of different flowers.
Baby's breath is the nicest, but we
didn't have, I should have got some baby's breath. I wasn't thinking. So see how, and you want them to be fairly close together. You don't want any gaps, right?
Right.
So I'm just going to keep adding, and maybe we'll add a nice little bit of white in there.
And you can put them side by side if they look too thin.
Yeah, if they look too thin, they don't have to go underneath.
Yeah.
Right? Because we want a nice crown.
And you'll see how you're creating a stem there. You got a stem you're hanging on to.
Yeah, see? So you're getting a stem, and then once you run out of tape, like my tape is almost getting down, you just add in more tape. So that tape is pretty well done there. So now I'm gonna add in more tape. I wanna make sure that I get I want the white pieces evenly distributed. Like you kind of want to make sure that like you don't want it to be, I wouldn't say you want it to be so uniform. But you do want a nice variety, right? Like you don't.
Right. Well, you know, I've done them all different ways because I usually make the crown for Our Lady at the church.
Yeah, my mom does the crown every year. Crowns, I should say.
Sometimes my very favorite is the blue orchids.
Oh.
With baby's breath. Just this like massive baby's breath with blue orchids in it. The little tiny orchids, not the big ones.
So you guys can see it's kind of taking shape there. I just ripped my tape by accident, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal.
I like them all. If you're going to have a lot of color, then I like my personal preference. I like a lot of color. So many colors.
Yeah, and I think we have a really nice variety.
You lost one.
I lost one. That may happen, you guys. It's not.
You have to go back up there.
I'll have to go back up and fix it. Oh, you know what? It fell off the wire. It wasn't.
Fell off the wire.
It wasn't wrapped very nicely. I can see the stem right there. So let's see if we can repair this.
Sometimes you can just hot glue them back on.
Yeah, you can use a bit of hot glue because remember, this is not like this flower crown doesn't have to last for weeks on end, right? On Sunday.
They'll last a few days.
They'll last a few days. Oh, what was the tip you were telling me to make them last longer? If you cover the hole.
If you cover the wire.
If you cut the hole that you poke with the wire in the bud of the flower, if you cover that with the floral tape, they last longer.
I mean, with a carnation, it's easy to do. With other flowers, it's not so easy.
Not so easy. Okay.
Because they don't have a big enough bud.
Okay, so we have enough flowers here on our crown. And now basically all that's left to do is actually just put our crown together. So simple and super easy. We have this long stem here. And we're just going to take it, and all we have to do is work it around underneath and weave it into the flowers. So this is wire, so we have a little bit of play here, and we just have to connect it. So see there, I've closed the gap of the flowers, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of tuck it in and under the flowers, and I'm going to wrap the wire around and bring it back underneath the other side. And this is why we use wire, because we can put it together at the end. And if you have to, you can add in extra wire. If you need to, if you don't have enough wire on the end of your stem, you can actually take another piece and you can just kind of connect it too, like this. Okay, so our crown is all done now. We are going to take it outside and we are going to crown our Blessed Mother.